Hello everyone. Today I will talk about communication. Communication means talking, listening, reading, and writing. We use communication every day. Good communication is very important. There are many ways to communicate. We can speak, write, and use the phone or send messages. Also use social media like Facebook, WhatsApp, or TikTok. Communication help us understand each other, help us work, study, and make friends. If we have a problem, we can talk to someone. This helps us feel better. Good communication means we listen carefully, we speak clearly, and we respect others. Thank you. To be honest, your presentation is a little bit flat. I mean, the content is good, but it's not really engaging. And you are just mostly reading, and there's not much interaction between you and the audience. In my opinion, your topic is really interesting, but maybe the way you present it, you can make it more engaging. Like you can make more interaction with your audience, like an eye contact and using the tone so it sounds more natural, so that the audience can more connected and engage to your presentation. So, this situation shows a common misunderstanding intercultural communication. This situation happened not because the first person is right and the other person is wrong, but this situation happened because they have a different communication of style. And let's see the situation using the intercultural communication concept. The first concept is low versus high context communication. In some cultures, people communicate very directly. They say exactly what they think and they expect someone to understand the messages clearly from their words, even if it sounds rude or harsh. In other cultures, people communicate very indirectly. They keep things comfortable and avoid hurting other people's feelings. So instead of saying something directly, they often soften their words. And the second concept is cultural perception. Cultural perception is mean when we understand, interpret the messages or things based on our own cultural background. For example, the presenter think that the first feedback was rude or harsh, while the other person think that the second feedback was unclear. At the same time, the other person may think that the second feedback was kind and polite, but for someone who expect clarity, it can feel confusing and also not helpful. So the third concept is prejudice. Prejudice is a situation when we judge about someone too quickly without really understanding them. For the example, without knowing their communication style, the presenter may think that the first commentator is rude or not helpful. But in reality, they are just communicating in a different way. So this kind of situation can make or can create misunderstanding and can make the communication less effective. The first one said it's flat, but the other need to be more engaging. I mean, is the problem on my content or the way I deliver it? So instead of getting confused or judge other people too quickly, we can try to understand that people communicate in the different ways. For the commentator, when giving a feedback, it's not just about to be helpful or to be clear, but also consider how the messages might be received. And as the presenter, we cannot assume something negative just the way they deliver it, but we can try to understand the messages behind it. So for the example, the presenter can asking for more clarification, or the commentator can give them specific suggestion. In conclusion, different cultures have a different ways of communication. What sounds rude in one culture may be normal in another. What sounds nice may not always be clear. So by understanding this, we can avoid the misunderstanding and communicate better.